them grow and bloom. The time by Sagicor Bank is 7 o'clock.
CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight on CVM News at 7, Ministry of Health cautions against traveling to Ebola-affected countries. Despite Auditor General's report, government defends handling of hurricane relief funds. Jamaica Labour Party blasts PNP MP for controversial statement about House Speaker. In Western Jamaica, Western Children's Hospital to be named after former Prime Minister. Tech Pulse will bring the heat, gadgets for summer, and latest drops. And in sports, the Popeyes Challenge Cup rolls on with round 3 tomorrow, featuring a St. Anne derby live on CVM TV.
Headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
This week on Farming Forward, we're coming to you from, whoa, look at that, We're coming to you from Riverdale in St. Catherine, and we'll be talking to that young entrepreneur you just saw. He was picking breadfruits, but I can tell you about the chickens that he's been caring for all these years. He'll be talking to us about real yard chickens. Farming Forward. We're brought to you by Nutrimix. Tell me, Nutrimix? The big feed. The big feed.
CVM News at 7 Tuesday, brought to you by...
Say yes to the new onion ring zinger from KFC. It's finger licking good.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Tuesday, May 26, 2026. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks for joining us. The Health Ministry is cautioning Jamaicans against traveling to or transiting through Ebola-affected countries at this time. The warning comes on the heels of the World Health Organization's declaration of an Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. It's been deemed a public health emergency of international concern. Dr. Nicole Dawkins-Wright is Director of Emergency Disaster Management and Special Services.
Following the World Health Organization's declaration of the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda as a public health emergency of international concern, the Ministry of Health and Wellness wishes to advise members of the public to review their travel plans and avoid traveling or transiting through affected countries. Although the WHO assesses the risk as high in the African region and low globally, the ministry has further enhanced its port of entry health surveillance, and as such, Jamaicans or travelers to Jamaica who have no symptoms but have traveled to affected countries or transited through same in the last 21 days will be asked to self-quarantine under the supervision of the Health Department.
The ministry says persons with the symptoms will be classified as suspected cases and will be isolated. The public is also being encouraged to seek health information and advice regarding the Ebola outbreak and other health conditions from official and authorized channels. The government is defending its handling of hurricane relief funds following concerns raised in the Auditor General's report. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the system remains accountable despite logistical challenges. Kevin Black reports.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has mounted a strong defense of the government's hurricane relief spending, pushing back against mounting criticism sparked by the Auditor General's real-time audit report. Dr. Holness says that the administration has taken a practical and controlled approach to managing large volumes of relief materials and donor-funded recovery projects across the country.
The Auditor General report said, well, there was an administrative failure in the management of the material. Meaning that when the materials are brought into store, they should be signed by both the JDF and ODPEM. And that is a fact. It didn't say the materials were stolen, but there was an administrative accounting failure.
He further explains the logistical challenges, including delivery timing and differing work hours between agencies, contributed to gaps in documentation and signing processes.
The JDF operates 24 hours, ODPEM operates 9 to 5, but the truckers are carrying in the material when? They're not carrying in the day when there's traffic and congestion. They're trying to get here using the least congested time. So by the time they reach here, ODPEM people are gone home. It's only JDF here to sign. But you see how it is positioned in your minds.
The Prime Minister says the donor funds are being directed towards the traceable and tangible items such as building materials to ensure accountability and clear audit trails.
In December, or late November, I addressed in a press conference this whole business of how we will treat with donated funds. And I said then that donated funds will be used to purchase building materials. It will be used to purchase things that are tangible, traceable, and for which it's easy to account. Impactful. We're not spending it on things that you cannot properly trace. When we fix a roof, the roof is there. You can go and measure it. You can see it. You didn't eat it today. Go to the bathroom afterwards, and then you come back and say you never get anything.
Kevin Black for CVM News.
As climate experts continue to warn of the possible return of El Niño conditions, concerns are growing about what hotter temperatures and reduced rainfall could mean for Jamaica in the months ahead.
Are being urged to prepare for hotter temperatures and reduced rainfall as the Meteorological Service of Jamaica monitors the likely development of an El Niño phenomenon expected to affect weather conditions across the island in coming months. According to Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology at the University of the West Indies and co-director of the Climate Studies Group, MONA, Professor Tanisha Stevenson, warming sea surface temperatures in the Pacific are influencing global weather patterns and could result in hotter and drier conditions locally.
When you hear the term El Niño, all it is being used to describe is the warming of ocean temperatures, sea surface temperatures over the Pacific. Now, when we see these temperatures at the surface of our oceans getting warmer above a certain threshold, it tends to change circulation patterns globally.
Professor Stevenson explains Jamaicans should pay attention to updates from the Meteorological Service, warning that the island could see above normal temperatures and less rainfall in the months ahead.
It speaks to water availability. It speaks to the possibility of us being hotter than normal. And so we need to be positioning ourselves to keep cool. We need to be positioning ourselves to ensure we have water in coming months. So we have to start the conservation. And so it will also impact on our foods and what foods may be available over the next couple of months. And so even our farmers need to be aware that we are likely going to have less rainfall available.
She also urged vulnerable groups to take precautions against heat stress and limit outdoor exposure where possible.
Exactly. So as our temperatures get higher, our police officers, our construction workers, the elderly, young, these are groups of persons who are more susceptible to hotter temperatures, heat stress impacts. And so we may have more persons turning up at our hospitals and clinics where we are having to treat the kinds of illnesses resulting from heat stress.
In other news now, the Jamaica Labour Party is strongly defending House Speaker Juliet Holness following comments made by opposition spokesperson on creative industries, culture and information, Nikisha Burchell, on the Fix podcast recently. West Rural St. Andrew Member of Parliament Juliet Cuthbert Flynn says Burchell's remarks were disrespectful, and she argues that women in leadership should not be labelled as controlling for enforcing rules and maintaining order in the nation's parliament.
I want to remind you of how hard women had to fight to get to leadership positions. I also want to remind you that there have been only 3 women speakers of the House. And I also want to remind you that when women assert themselves, they are or should not be seen as bullies. They should not be seen as controlling. They are leaders. Just like when a man is showing leadership, you say they're strong. You went below the belt. You were nasty by stating that she's controlling our household. That was a nasty statement.
Meanwhile, the opposition People's National Party blasted the government on Sunday at the Springfield Annual Divisional Conference over what it called failures in healthcare, ballooning municipal debts, and mismanagement in the energy sector. We hear more in this report.
The People's National Party on Sunday hosted the Springfield Annual Divisional Conference at the Vauxhall High School in Kingston. Speakers crafted a crucial discussion around perceived severe infrastructure and economic issues affecting the country. Opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, highlighted the concerns about severe infrastructure failures at the Bustamante Hospital for Children and the Kingston Public Hospital.
People cannot get their CT scans, they have to find money to go outside. But yet every time we talk about it, you hear that they're going to put up a new building. Healthcare is not provided by buildings. Healthcare is provided by doctors and nurses and other people who work in the healthcare system. So give them the tools and let them help people. But they are more interested in building out and refurbishing health centers for whatever reason.
Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, revealed that the Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation is still stuck paying off contractors' bills left behind by the previous administration dating back to 2021.
The Delroy William-led administration not even paid the retention that is owing to contractors. So I have to work up those bills now. And I'm not complaining. I knew what I was signing up for. And we are going to pay those bills, and I have to put the KCMC in a financial viable position so we can pay them.
Meanwhile, Shadow Minister on Energy and Climate Change, Philip Polwell, reasoned that the government's failure to upgrade Petrojam has caused the state-owned refinery to lose billions over the years and face further losses this year.
Over the last 2 years, in 2023 to 24, the refinery lost $4 billion Jamaican dollars. Last year, it lost another $4 billion. And this year, without the Iran crisis, was going to lose money again. And this has nothing to do with any world oil crisis. It has to do with an inefficient government that has mismanaged Petrojam.
Kevin Black for CVM News.
We take a break. Stay with us.
Finally said yes to onion rings. Now it's your turn to say yes to the onion ring zinger from KFC. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Employers, once a month, you have the power to shape Jamaica's future. By paying your hard 3% contribution, you're not just contributing, you're investing in people, in skills, in our economy. Your hard contribution trains working-age Jamaicans, aligns programs with workforce needs, and secures our future. That's not just contribution, it's transformation. Contribute to heart and to your future.
Looking for reliable ICT technical support in the Caribbean? Look no further than Connex. Stay connected with your loved ones and businesses, no matter where you are in paradise. Connex keeps you connected. Upgrade your network and embrace solar energy for your schools and businesses. Connex ensures seamless connectivity and sustainability. Connex, your trusted partner for telecom networking, software development, and solar installations. We design, install, connect, we deliver.
Welcome back. In a CVM News follow-up, Ramonte Rakai Ranger, a baby who died during child's birth at the Cornwall Regional Hospital a month ago, was finally laid to rest on Friday. However, his mother, Shandale Ballantyne, told her news team just days after the funeral that though she is happy he's finally resting, she doesn't believe she'll ever heal from the loss. More from Natasha Williams, who's been tracking that story.
No one prints. Bye, Papa. Bye, Papa. So this got
her voice riddled with pain and grief as Shandale Ballantyne, mother of Ramonte Rakai Ranger, whispered her final goodbyes at his funeral service last Friday. A moment, Miss Ballantyne says, brought her severe emotional distress, but also some relief.
Now I'm a bit more relieved that he has been buried. It's not the outcome of the situation that I wanted at all for my child. Every day I imagine him here at home with me. Every day I sit down and I wonder what I would be doing now, how old he would be, how big he would be. Just imagine what would be happening if he had survived.
However, she lamented that she's still not sure laying him to rest brought her full closure.
I don't know how to say it's enough closure, because at the end of the day, the baby should have been here, should have been alive. I'm saddened. The hospital said that they did their best and they did everything that they could have possibly done, but I can't help but wondering, did they really? I'm just constantly in an imaginary state, I guess, at this point, imagining what would have happened or what would be going on if he was here, or what could have been done more, what should have been done more to save him.
Ramonte passed away at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in April under circumstances the parents deemed as negligent on the part of the hospital. Miss Ballantyne says since then, moving on has been very difficult.
I've been trying to heal, but it is really hard. It is difficult. It's difficult. Up to now, my blood pressure is still high. Just thinking about my baby, my blood pressure go up sometimes. I don't know if I'll ever heal, honestly. I don't know if I'll ever heal. It's just the crying gets a little bit less now, not as often, but I still cry at times. I still break down now and then. I still go through his stuff. I still imagine him wearing certain things. It's a very rough ordeal, but I'm still grateful for the little help that I got.
However, she hopes her situation has brought awareness to expecting mothers and prays that justice will be served.
I'm giving thanks that I am still alive at the end of the day, but I don't think my baby got any justice at all. From Cornwall Regional.
Natasha Williams, CVM News.
Labour Minister Pernell Charles Jr. is linking the sacrifices of the 1938 Labour heroes to today's changing world of work adding Jamaica must now adapt to new technologies and skills demands. Kevin Black has the details.
Minister of Labour and Social Security, Pernell Charles Jr., is urging Jamaicans to honour the sacrifices of the 1938 Labour heroes as the country marks 88 years since the Labour riots. Minister Charles says those events should not be seen as a distant history but as the foundation of today's workers' rights and protections.
The many times, the many whips, the many unfortunate, unfair, degrading situations that our forefathers would have had to treat with to lead them to be in the labor riots of 1938. The many lives lost, the sacrifices made, the fear that had to overcome. And I must tell you, I don't take it for granted. And I think
he explains workers today are benefiting from the sacrifices of those who fought for unions, rights, and better working conditions.
They didn't run away, they ran towards it. And they did so to make sure that the generation to come, which is us right now, had the opportunity to stand up strong and to talk proudly and confidently that we are living in a country where workers have rights. There's a lot that we do now that we could never do then, but we can do it now because of what they did for us.
The minister highlights Jamaica must prepare for the future of work by improving productivity and embracing technologies such as artificial intelligence.
We talk about artificial intelligence. We can't be scared of it. It is here. How many people have ChatGPT on their phone? Just give me a show of hands. You don't want to see it, but we know so you don't have it. You don't want to chat it, man. If you don't have it, it's a problem. You better get it. Embrace the technology. Find a way to become competent and make it strengthen what you do. Make it strengthen your speeches. Make it strengthen your work so you can become better and stronger.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
In another CVM News follow-up now, Vice President of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, Rudolph Thomas, says, quote, significant progress has been made during bilateral discussions with the management of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, following their meeting with the BITU on Tuesday. The meeting, which was held at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, was hosted in relation to a recent protest action carried out by JTA staff regarding unpaid incremental salaries, seniority payments, and stalled wage negotiations for JTA's unionized support and administrative staff. Mr. Thomas told CVM News that based on the meeting, a definitive roadmap to address each of the 3 areas of contention was mutually agreed upon by the parties. He also noted that commitments were outlined by the JTA's leadership, establishing specific deliverables anticipated by the workers over a designated period. They are scheduled to return to the Ministry of Labour on July 1, 2026 to provide an update on progress achieved in resolving the ongoing disputes. The government has formally renamed 2 state buildings in Kingston, representing 1 ministry at a time, when the one people, one purpose in all things Jamaica wins was a focal theme. We hear more from Carolyn Brown.
The Ministry of Labour and Security building at 2 locations of the corporate area now bear the names of 2 distinguished Jamaicans. This is one of the highest forms of national tributes to acknowledge outstanding contributions to national development. The Hero Circle location has been named in honor of Lyndon G. Newland, who played an important role in shaping Jamaica's labor and social security system. He is remembered as the father of national insurance in Jamaica. He was a Minister of Labour and National Insurance from 1962 to 1972 and helped in establishing the National Insurance Scheme, which continues to provide support for Jamaican workers, pensioners, and families. Now, the North Street building bears the name of the first and the only female Prime Minister to date, a daughter of the soil, who dedicated her life and work to her beloved country.
It is another moment of profound national significance as we formally dedicate what is our head office in the name and honor of one of Jamaica's most revered and transformational leaders and former Ministers of Labour and Social Security, the Most Honourable Portia Lucretia Simpson Miller. Today we pause to honour a daughter of the soil whose life and whose work has been defined by an unstinting service to the people of this country.
Now, that was perhaps intended to be the main symbolic gesture officially announced under the Jamaica Legacy Project in honor of Mrs. Portia Simpson Miller. However, after declaring he was going off script to address a few issues, Prime Minister Andrew Holness made this announcement.
But I want to give an assurance that the Western Children's Hospital, which Portia Simpson Miller went to China, negotiated with the government of China, came back to Jamaica and announced it, that it is only proper, and there was never any other intention. It was always the intent, and I had expressed that directly to the family, and internally we had also discussed it. And I may even have said it in passing in interviews, which probably was not picked up at the time, that the hospital should be named. It is only the right thing to do. It's appropriate that it should be named in her honor, and it will be done. You know, we were just waiting until the hospital was finished and ready, which would have been the appropriate time to say that, but it is what it is.
Life as we know it is rapidly changing due to a flood of innovation and technology globally. Efficiency Minister Audrey Marks accepts while there is work to be done, Jamaica will not be left behind, citing a range of digital shifts in critical areas of commerce and justice expected to improve life and trade locally.
Or spend exhaustingly long periods in lines is no longer acceptable for commerce in Jamaica. Efficiency Minister Ambassador Audrey Marks says much of the laborious tasks, including tax administration Jamaica services, are being improved with online offerings and applications. She also lauded the impact of the recently launched e-signature, especially in the nation's courts.
With digital sign of warrants, this means less physical movement of documents, fewer administrative delays, reduced printing and storage costs, and faster processing across the justice system. And importantly, it frees up the judge's time for other critical duties in the advancements of justice process in Jamaica. This is how digital transformation should work, not just digitizing paperwork, but improving how the government actually functions and delivers services to people every day.
The minister shares over 322,000 traffic tickets were issued for 2026 so far, insisting the process has been made that much easier.
Implementing the acceptance of the electronic signature across government has been transformative for the courts. Since 2026, 322,364 traffic tickets have been issued. In 2025, 714,362 traffic tickets were issued, which speaks to another problem. Some of these traffic ticket matters require a warrant to be signed and issued by a judge. Judges are now enabled to sign traffic ticket warrants electronically, and so far, approximately 103,089 traffic ticket warrants have been electronically signed by judges.
But that's not all. From looking up traffic tickets and making online payments more secure and easier, she painted a picture of how Jamaicans will move, quote, from resilience to resurgence, building a faster, smarter, and more connected Jamaica.
The public can check their own traffic ticket status using the government's official traffic ticket digital service available at trafficticketlookup.gov.jm. Mr. Speaker, the government of Jamaica is also working to improve digital payments and financial inclusion. I'm pleased to share that the ICT Authority has successfully strengthened and modernized the government's secure online payment gateway, Paygate. Paygate facilitates online payments in both Jamaican and United States dollars using Visa and MasterCard.
We switch now to Jody and Quarry, who is in studio to tell us more about Lead Story Prime.
Hi, Nika. Thanks so much. Lead Story Prime tonight is about the big news coming from, of all places, the Catholic Church. Nika, that has been now the big news. Reparations back on the agenda, thanks to now an apology from Pope Leo XIV. But what does that mean for reparatory justice? We'll deep dive into that at 8.
Must see TV. With that, we take a break. Do stay with us.
Yes to the new onion ring zinger from KFC. The time by KFC is
7:30.
Finally said yes to onion rings. Now it's your turn to say yes to the onion ring zinger from KFC. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Lasco Food Drink is everything you need to support your family's nutrition. Have it at home or take it with you every day for all-day energy. Lasco Food Drink has your favorite flavors, including low sugar options, so you sacrifice nothing. Packed with protein, calcium, vitamins, minerals, including iron. Lasco Food Drink is the winning taste and nutrition for your family. Nutrition never tasted so good.
Also try Lasco Soy as a lactose-free alternative.
Already have a T-Tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. Download the My T-Tag app, available on Google Play Store or the App Store, and add funds to your T-Tag from anywhere you're there. Also, keep checking the LED screens at our toll plazas for periodic promo codes, which will give you bonus T-Tag credit when you enter it in the My T-Tag app. Top up your T-Tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The heat is on, and in this edition of Tech Pulse, from the latest device drops to innovations that will blow your mind, we've got you covered, so let's dive in.
Welcome to Tech Pulse. This June, the tech world is heating up and cooling down. The OnePlus Nord 5 and Poco F7 are making waves with powerhouse chips and massive batteries, while the Motorola Razr 70 Ultra brings a foldable flare back into the spotlight.
These CAD renders, shared by OnLeaks in collaboration with ExpertPick, give us one of the closest looks yet at Motorola's next flip phone, also known as the Razr 70 Ultra. The design looks clean and premium, with a large outer cover screen, a refined camera module, and an overall more polished build compared to the previous model. But here's the catch. The phone appears noticeably thicker when folded. In a market where slimness is everything, especially with competitors like the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 going under 14 millimeters, this could be a problem. However, that extra thickness might not be all bad, as it could mean a bigger battery, better cameras, or even Qi 2 wireless charging.
But it's not just phones. Summer survival gadgets are trending too. The Taurus Coolify 3 wearable neck AC delivers icy relief on the go.
This might be the best way to stay cool this summer. It's the Taurus Coolify 3, and it's not your ordinary neck fan. In fact, it's a wearable air conditioner. It's got 3 cooling zones on the inside of the fan that get extremely cold. So just imagine a frozen towel wrapped around your neck that's also blowing air. It's got 3 different fan speeds, and it just helps you stay cool a lot better than a regular neck fan. And to top it all off, it has a heating mode, so this can even help you stay warm during the winter.
And the Zovo Ice Cooling Fan Packs adds a frosty punch with marathon battery life. while the 8 Sleep Pod 5 is redefining bedtime with smart cooling tech.
Pod 5 isn't just a mattress cover anymore, it's a full-on sleep ecosystem, and here's what I mean. So we've got the Pod Hub itself, which is still at the center of controlling everything. Then we've got the bed base that lays onto your existing bed frame, the cover that goes over your existing mattress, sort of like a fitted sheet for temperature control. And now we've even got a hydro-powered blanket cover that also regulates temperature, which I'm really keen to test. So there's a few things to install, and you absolutely want to get a hand with the unboxing and installation. It's all pretty heavy and there's a lot to set up, but thankfully it is pretty straightforward with the app guiding you along the way.
So from cutting-edge smartphones to personal cooling innovations, June 2026 proves that the future of tech is about power, style, and staying chill. That's it for Tech Pulse, and remember, the future is now.
A bit of business before we go to regional news. First Global Bank has a new leader at the helm. The Grace Kennedy subsidiary has appointed Brendan King as the new chairman of its board of directors. King brings more than 30 years of international banking experience to the role, having previously spent 3 decades in senior leadership at Scotiabank. He succeeds Peter Moses, who had served as chairman since 2017. The bank, which celebrates its 25th anniversary this year, also announced a major board refresh. Joining the board is former NCB Chief Executive Officer Septimus Bob Blake, along with retired PwC partner Lorene Augier and attorney Donovan Walker. The appointments for Augier and Walker are still awaiting regulatory approval. It's now time for regional and international news.
We begin with news from the region. In Barbados, officials in the tourism industry are being urged to work together to deconstruct some of the mythology that exists between the Caribbean and Africa. Speaking on Monday at the media launch of Air Peace was Barbados' High Commissioner to Nigeria, Her Excellency Juliet Bino Sutherland. We hear more from CBC Barbados.
We need to work really hard on changing that narrative about what Africa is and what Africa represents. I don't think people in the Caribbean have any ideas. I was asked about things that are happening in places that are thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away from West Africa. Our geography lessons do not do us a disservice. I don't know how many people are aware that when we look at the map that we know of the globe that represents Africa, actually does a disservice to the size and scale of Africa. So it is important that we, certainly in foreign affairs, we in BTMI also do the sensitization that is necessary for Barbadians.
In international news, Israeli air attacks have killed at least 5 people in Gaza, Palestinian authorities said, as Israel continues to violate the ceasefire on the eve of the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Adha. Al Jazeera tells us more.
It's been a very rocky day since the early hours of this morning, and we can see that the latest attack on Al-Maghazi refugee camp has been the bloodiest since morning today, where 5 Palestinians have been killed while they were trying to confront Palestinian gangs who are believed to be backed by Israel and operating in Gaza's eastern communities, specifically in areas under the Israeli military control. We saw footage coming from the targeted site showing Palestinians evacuating casualties to Al-Aqsa Hospital amid a very dramatic scene filled with grief, sadness. In the